Some sad news came out of London yesterday. A stowaway fell from a plane that came from Nairobi to London. We don't know the details or the circumstances surrounding his death, but what we know, the reporting that I've seen, they talk about a body being found nearby a Heathrow airport in London, and the plane was coming from Kenya. Maybe could you speak to that?
Incredible. I don't know whether the plane was actually coming from Kenya, but what I know is that it was Kenya Airways.
Correct.
You know, I always used to hear and read about stories about stowaways, especially coming from Africa, trying to get their way to Europe, to the greener pastures, and in fact going to school and what have you. I read about some individuals who used to do that from Nigeria, for example. I also met, I was very fortunate enough to meet one individual, gentleman in Uganda, who had actually been the beneficiary of that type of experience. He ended up leaving Uganda and ended up in India, where he studied to be an accountant. And in fact, he ended up being the municipality council or town council treasurer of Jinja by the name Kasibwa.
Interesting.
It was very interesting when you talked about that. A stowaway, of course, is someone who basically gets into a ship, gets into a plane or a vehicle for the purpose of traveling secretly to go to whichever kind of destination he or she wants to go without actually having to go through the business of paying and all that kind of stuff. But it is incredible. I mean, how can you possibly do it in this modern day and age, especially when you look at the kind of security that obtains on some of these international airports? How do you do it? You either have to, it either has to be an inside job in the sense that you probably work for the airline, or you work for the security around that particular airport, or of course you buy your way.
I mean, it's interesting because in 2014 there was a teen here in the United States, a Somali teen, who did a similar thing and he survived. So there are cases of people who have done that and survived. But let's go to a quick reaction here from Adrian Pabi. Risking your life for greener pastures is a do-or-die battle. Your thoughts?
Yeah, but you know, there is a saying, Paul, that it is only those who are willing to fail greatly that succeed enormously. Life is about a risk because, let's face it, all of life is about, someone said, passion, action, and reaction. And to ignore the passion, action, and reaction of your time or your generation is to risk having not really lived at all, occupying space. So does that person think that a person should occupy space, not trying to sacrifice or to go through some, you know, some problems in order for that particular individual at the end of the day to end up actually doing something very reasonable and important for him?